Hello, dear student. Welcome back to this another new topic, power and energy production in the world. This is another interesting topic, and anyone may ask the question, so what would happen to the world without electricity? So that is the question that any person may ask when looking at this topic. So can you answer the question? So what would happen to our planet without electricity? We know how much we depend on it. Almost our daily lives depend on electricity. So that's why electricity or power production is a matter. So today we have a topic, classification of energy, factors favoring production of energy, importance. We will also talk about the problems or limitation. Then at the end, we will be suggesting possible solution. First, let's talk about learning objectives. At the end of this topic, so you should be able to identify major world source of energy. Describe the factors affecting the power production in the world. Explain the importance of power and energy in the world. Explain the problems hindering the development of the power and the energy and propose the possible solution. First, we are going to talk about the source and the form of energy used in the world. So here there's another question. So where comes electricity we use every day? Where is its source? So to answer the question, so first let's look at the classification of those sources. So the source of energy and the power are classified into two classification. So remember, this is geography, senior 6. Classification of energy, source of energy, source of energy. So we have two major categories. So we have renewable source of energy, so we have also non-renewable source of energy. So what are the factors? What are the conditions to classify those sources of energy? So here, any source of energy can be renewable or non-renewable because of its rate of renewability. If the rate is high, it is renewable. If the rate is low, it is non-renewable. But let's define renewable source of energy. Renewable source of energy are resources with the capacity of replenishing. What does it mean? when we are using renewable source of energy, so they have capacity to renew, to regrow, or to replenish themselves without any influence. So let's take an example of sun, water, flowing water. Those are examples of renewable source of energy. And they have also another advantage. They are commonly known as clean energy. Renewable they are also known as clean energy or green power. Green power. So why? This is simply because they don't pollute, but they don't have any harm to the environment. The process of generating electricity doesn't emit any greenhouse gases, so they are safe. That's why they make our environment always clean and green also. So some of the examples of renewable source of energy, so apart from water, sun, there is also wind. There is also biomass and biogas. Then non-renewable source of energy. Those are source of energy. So once used, they are exhausted. They cannot replenish themselves. So they don't have a capacity to replenish. So their renewability takes a long period of time. So examples, they are minerals. So when we are excavating, searching for minerals, they get exhausted. Oil, coal, these are examples of non-renewable source of energy. So here, sometimes when you are asked to talk about advantage and the disadvantages, or in exam, even in test, some students get confused when they are asked to give the importance of something or to give advantage. Both words are totally different. So here, we are going to look at the advantages of some renewable source of energy, solar energy. This is the energy obtained from the sun. The sun is the main source that generates heat. One of the advantages of solar energy, it doesn't pollute the environment. Simply, it is environmentally friendly. It is inexhaustible. It is available in all parts of the world. Most of the part of the world so receive enough sunshine. Maybe in polar region, that is an exception, where they receive low amount of sunshine because of their position. But most of equatorial, tropical region, those are good place for this type of energy. Even if it is good, but it has a bad side. It can't be used to run heavy machinery. You cannot depend on solar energy when you have an industry. In that case, it will be very difficult. Tapping equipment, solar panel are expensive even to buy. It fluctuates in various seasons throughout the year. We know that the earth rotates, but also the sun, the earth also revolves. So in this case, there is a change of season. Sometimes some part of the earth receive more sunshine than others. So that's why there is this kind of changes, fluctuation. Another source of energy, it is the wind. Wind energy is an inexhaustible source of energy. Can you tell me the store of wind? You don't know. So there is always wind. So don't panic that even if there is high and heavy wind, so it will not get exhausted. It is always there. So it is inexhaustible. That is an advantage of using wind energy. It doesn't pollute the environment. It just blows and turn the windmills that are installed somewhere, land between the windmill and can be used for other purposes. So there is a space between windmills. So that available place can be used for other purpose. So it can be used for agriculture or other use. It can be produced on small scale basis for local consumer. So it doesn't need a large area, but this energy also has some limitations, disadvantages. A windmill for harvesting, it are expensive to buy and install. So it requires some amount of money to buy the windmill equipment and even to install. The equipment for harvesting relatively expensive to maintain. It fluctuates when the strength and the direction of wind changes. We know that winds do not blow in one direction. So it depends. So when it changes direction, there will be shortage of wind energy in that place. The large tract of land is required. That is another. Okay. Another source of energy that is used is water, flowing water. So what are the necessary requirements or conditions to generate electricity using flowing water? So we have two types of conditions or requirements. So we have physical requirement, but also there is human requirement. On the side of physical requirement, you will be in need of high quantity of water. High quantity of water is needed to supply enough water that will be used to turn turbines. Great altitude or high elevation is also another condition. Existence of rapid and water and the waterfall. Those are other conditions. A hard rock for firm foundation. Hydroelectric power are used after construction of dam. That is a very big reservoir of water. So it needs a very strong basement, foundation, existence of lakes or space for water reservoir, narrow steep-sided to harvest or to collect water. The absence of coal, petroleum, then economic condition or human condition, market. So who needs electricity? There are industries, there are people, home. So if there are a high demand of people looking for electricity, so it will encourage investors, private sectors to invest, to put their money in this business so that they can produce and distribute electricity. Huge capital also is needed. So you cannot think about power production without thinking about money. So it requires enough capital to invest, machinery, money used for maintenance, paying workers, technological knowledge and skills. So this is an activity that requires skills, technical skills and high technology for easy working of machinery, transport facility. There will be need of transport facility. We know that most of hydroelectric power is one of the source of power which is most used, even in our country. So we use more hydroelectric power than any other source. So what are the advantages of this type of energy? It doesn't pollute the environment. And we know people are friends of environment. So we interact with environment. So when environment is polluted, so it will affect us directly or indirectly. Hydroelectric power can be transmitted over long distance using cable. So don't worry if you have constructed a dam, even in a remote area, it will be easy for you to reach the demand. So you just use poles and the cable to connect dam and market people. Dams for hydroelectric power create lakes. We know when engineers are establishing dam, so behind there is a very big lake. This lake can be used for other purpose, transport, water for some activities, even fishing. Why not attracting tourists? It is possible. It can be used for many purposes, transport, cooking, and so on. It is reliable because, okay. So hydroelectric power produce or generate enough amount of electricity. That's why it is reliable compared to other sources of energy that produce limited amount of electricity. Even if hydroelectric power is good, on another side, it has disadvantages. It is affected by fluctuation of water. When there is a heavy rainfall, that is good, the water, the volume of lake, river increase. But in that case, there will be siltation. Sand, mud may be dropped to the river and pollute the air. When constructing dams also, it will require displacement of people. People living in that place will be moved to other place. And the government also will pay money for those people. The cost of constructing and running hydroelectric power is very high. Dams may break and destroy. This is a catastrophic accident, so it kills many people when it breaks. Another form of renewable source of energy, it is biomass. So it comes from all plant and animal waste. It has advantages and disadvantages. But let's talk about the factors favoring power and energy in the world. Availability of market. Everywhere in the world, so the production of power or electricity will depend on people in need. Availability of capital. The amount of money available for running this activity, high degree of technical knowledge and skills. So it will require both skilled and non-skilled labor, but especially skilled labor for maintenance. The amount of energy to be produced, presence of waterfall. Waterfall is good condition or factor to produce much energy. So what is the importance of power and energy in the development of the world? In my introduction, I have said that we depend on electricity in one way or more. It is used in industry and home, just to give light. Power and energy are a source of energy to the government. How? Some countries do not have enough electricity. In case where you have enough electricity, dams, so you can export electricity to your neighbor, and they will pay you back. It is a source of employment. The sector of energy and the power so offer employment, directly or indirectly. It facilitates the growth and the development of industry. So you cannot think about industry in a place where there is no electricity. Heavy machines, they are run by enough electricity. It facilitates the growth of city and town. Electricity is an indicator of urbanization. So we cannot also think about urbanization if there is no electricity. It helps in the development of trade and commerce. Nowadays, commerce is done in different ways. There are some facilities to the smooth running of commerce and the electricity. So electricity is also included. It improves the standard of people. Many people get job and their lives change. There are some problems or challenges when producing power and electricity. The first challenge is the money. So when you don't have money, it will be a big challenge to the production of electricity. No lack of technical knowledge. You may even have lacks, you may have enough condition or requirement are there, especially physical requirement. But if you don't have skilled people, so you will fail. So that's why skills and the technical skills are required. Our dependence on oil and its product. Sometimes people do not think about electricity from solar energy, wind, hydroelectric power, just because they think they will be using oil. Increase in oil price, wastage and misuse of energy. It is another challenge. They are there, but they are not used in a proper way. Environmental pollution. Some forms of energy, they pollute our environment. And we know how much we interact with environment. When environment is polluted, it affects negatively our lives, our activities. Okay, so let's think about solution. The dependence on some source of energy, example oil. So people may think about alternative source of energy. So it is not necessary to think about only one source of energy. So you can use varieties of source of energy. Example, wind, solar, biogas, water supply. So the government can also think about public transport to reduce the amount of pollution. Instead of using many cars, private ones, so the government may think about big vehicles that can transport a large number of people and pollute less. Switch in terms of management of what we have. So people may think about switching off when they are not using light at home. Why not in offices? Thank you very much.